Hello everyone, and welcome to Knife Craze. You know, a lot of people these days have smartphones, and a lot of them have access to YouTube and the internet. So it's pretty easy for somebody to upload a viral video. But it takes a certain amount of ambition, a certain quality of video, and a certain type of video for that video to truly get any popularity. Well, I don't care about any of that. I just enjoy doing this to have fun and to show you guys reviews of knives so you can know what's the right choice to buy. Today we're going to be testing out the Schrade Leroy Bowie knife. Now I got this thing from Amazon.ca last year for about $74, and this thing's absolutely gigantic. Here's my forearm. That's at the tip of my fingers. Can you see that? That's huge. It's a big knife. Well, I'm going to get into the details first, get that boring crap out of the way, and then we're going to actually test it out on camera since it's a beautiful day out. So, starting off, the sheath. It's this really hard plastic. It's actually really tough. I like that a lot better than the cheap nylon, and I enjoy it because, you know, if I'm going to pay $74 for a knife, it better have a damn good sheath. It also has these additional attachment points all around it. So if you wanted to attach it to your bag with paracord or some other type of cordage, you could do that. The strap up here is Velcro. It's a pretty decent strap though. What I typically do, I wrap it around to the back just so I can get it added easier. Now, getting the knife out of the sheath is actually a bit tricky. It requires you to move it a bit, then get it out. Kind of by, so when it's in, right, it kind of locks. In order to get it out, you kind of lift it up while pressing down here and lifting here to get it out. So there's the sheath. Might I mention, there is also a plastic belt loop. It's not very wide, so you won't be able to fit any really big belts or duty belts on this thing. But it is quite a snug fit on the inside, so the knife sits in there, doesn't rattle around too much. I don't see a drainage hole anywhere on it, so that might be a deal breaker for a few people. Me personally, I don't mind. Anyway, this is the knife itself. It's about 16.4 inches long according to the Amazon.ca description. It's got this really nice textured rubberized grip, and it's full tang, which means the piece of metal that is the blade is in one solid piece with the metal that goes into the handle. You can see it. It goes all the way around the grip. That's all one solid piece, so that's going to be really strong for all types of outdoor tasks. Now, like I said, this knife is very long. It's about the length of my forearm and most of my hand, as you can see there. Now, you do get this nice finger choil right here, really thick, and you also have these finger grooves on the main grip, so you can really choke up on there for detailed work like carving or feather sticking, or if you just want to hold on to it and giving it a good hack. I don't recommend that because your finger could move forward, you're moving it down, off goes your finger. But the finger choil is there for extra grip, and it has Schrade embossed into the steel, and on the other side, the model of the knife is embossed down here, SCHF45. Now, this is a clip point knife, as you can see, which essentially makes the tip a lot smaller, which adds in penetration ability. The edge, might I say, though, is actually really thick, and I've been trying forever to get a hair shaving edge on this knife using stone sharpeners, carbide, and ceramic, but nothing has seemed to work yet. So just have it in mind when you do buy this, you're not going to be able to get it super sharp unless you're a pro at sharpening knives, or I don't know, maybe my technique is wrong. I don't know, I'm not claiming to be an expert, but you might not be able to get a razor shaving edge on this knife. However, you can get it sharp enough that it will be able to slash milk cartons in half, which is a good representation for slashing something else, which I'll show you in this video. I'm also going to mention that it has some nice jimping, actually pretty aggressive jimping right up here. Anyway, there's the boring details out of the way. Now I have a stump down here. I'm going to move the camera down so you guys can see it. We're going to give it a few hacks, pry it a bit, and see what this thing can take. If it breaks, I'm going to be pissed. Alright guys, so here we are, here's our stump, and in fact right here on the top of it is a piece of a blade that broke off when I was actually doing a video on my old channel. So let's hope we don't hit that, because I'd hate to chip the edge on this beautiful knife. So first off, let's give it some good hacks. I felt some flexing there with the rubber grip. Not sure if that's bad or good. Probably bad. Now, we've actually chopped into this so much, we're almost chopping out a section of the stump. Let's try some prying now. Look at that. Now, given that this is dead wood, it is actually still fairly hard, and we were able to chop out that section right there with this knife. Now let's look at the edge and see if there's any damage. Oh, got bad news. There's a chip in it. Now this chip might be from before. The first time it chipped, it might be from now. It might be kind of hard to see on camera, but there is a discernible chip in there that you can see with your eyes. Well, geez, that's not good. So there's a note to you guys. I'm not sure if it's from this time or not. I know for sure that I did not hit the piece of metal that was inside of here, but just note that this thing is prone to chipping. So, you know, you might want to consider that if you're willing to buy this. Okay, another thing we're going to do with this is some stabs and pries. Now, one of the main uses for a knife, of course, is stabbing. But when you stab, it can put a lot of pressure onto the blade, because when you're trying to pry it out of something, the tip could break off. So, let's see how it holds up. Now, I refuse to bend this side to side, because that's just asking for the tip to break off. So I'm not going to be doing that. I feel something flexing in this knife. Whoa. Oh. I accidentally hit the broken off blade in the stump, and I damaged the tip of my knife. I'm gonna have to file that out. Not sure if you guys can see that there, but I have damaged the tip of my knife. That was on me. That's not on the product. That was on me. Let's do it one more time. 2 more times. This honestly feels kind of like a small machete, a very thick, small machete. Well, despite the fact that the tip of it got kind of wrecked, but then again, that was on me, it seems to have held up to our stabbing test. Now, let's slash some milk cartons in half. Well guys, we have this milk carton filled up with water, and I'm going to give it a good slash and see if this thing can't cut it in half. Now, let's hope I don't damage the knife doing this. So we do have a shepherd's pole back here, and I just don't want it to get damaged. I don't want the knife to get damaged. Alright. Don't worry about the bikes under there, those are all junk bikes. Alright. I'm disappointed. That didn't even cut into it. It just dented it and threw it across. That was disappointing. For a knife this big, with that much weight underneath it, made by Schrade for $74, you think it'd be able to do a lot better than just roughly cut into this. I'm pissed off. Well, there you go guys. There's some testing of the Schrade Bowie knife. But I'm not done yet. I want to do a little bit more for you guys, because lately the results haven't been nice. So now we're going to do one more test, and that would be the chopping test. Is this knife capable of chopping down a tree or even just a branch? Let's go find out. Alright, so I have this branch which I pulled down off the tree. We're going to let this represent our branch. I'm actually going to place it down on the stump over there, and we're going to see if this can get through it. There's the stump, and now I'm coming in with the branch. I'm going to use the thickest part to demonstrate. Well, that took that off easy enough. This is really dead. Well, while the wood was dead and very brittle, it did manage to chop through it easy enough. And in a survival situation, this dry, dead wood is what you're going to be looking for. And clearly, this is able to cut it down. So I guess this knife ain't all bad, but I am kind of unhappy with the fact that it is chipped in some areas, even though I've only used it in light use. So there you have it, guys. That is my review of the Schrade Leroy Bowie knife. It honestly kind of disappointed me. I'm saddened by the fact that it is chipped, considering it is by no means, at least to me, by no means is this a bad looking knife. It's actually very nice looking, and its size is very imposing. This is like something you'd see on one of those zombie hunter shows. But it just saddens me the fact that it is chipped, and that I felt some flexing right here with the rubber grips and the tang, and it saddened me that it wasn't able, despite its size, and it wasn't able to get through that much junk. So there you go, guys. That is my review and my personal thoughts about the Schrade Leroy Bowie. Please like, subscribe, leave a nice comment, and have a great day.